And we are back with the weekend sales. So we have 28 orders here for about $430. That does include the shipping and the tax. We usually charge $4.99 for any media item that is under 1 pound. And that's 95% of the stuff that we sell. So let's go over these real quick. Pretty good weekend. Just stuff kept rolling in. We're 10 a day since Friday. So that's pretty good. I believe there'll probably be a couple more before the night ends. Just a mix of VHS, CDs, and DVDs. And we got a couple vinyls in there and even an 8-track. So let's go over these. Up first we have Steel Frontier with Joe Lara. This one sold for $10. We got this at a yard sale for 50 cents. And it looks pretty cool. It's not it's just this weird brand here, CFP Video. But there you go. Steel Frontier. We have this Alice Cooper 45. This is a promo. It sold for $13. That came in a big lot we bought over the internet, which has been so-so. The Trail of the Fox. We sold this one for $18.99. I believe we have like $9 shipping on it too, because this thing is super heavy. This came recently from an estate sale, and this book was probably around like 50 to 75 cents. The Jaws book that we sold the other day was in that same lot. We sold for like $60. So we did pretty good on that one. We have this Jill Jones 45. This one sold for $7.25. This came from the same lot. The Thomas Crown Affair on Blu-ray sold for $6.50. I'm not quite sure where we got this, but if you go out there searching for a lot of media items, a lot of times there's not a lot of Blu-rays for sale. People are still keeping them and not really selling them at the yard sales. So when we find them, we usually pick them up. $6.50 on that one. Let me go to the next page here. We have True Crime with Clint Eastwood. This one sold for around like $6. It is sealed, which helped it, but a lot of times Clint Eastwood movies, there's just so many of them out there. They aren't worth too much, but that came from a big CD DVD buy that we bought early in our eBay careers. Right here we got Diana Krall live at Montreal Jazz. We probably paid around like 25 to 50 cents for this from the lady next town over that we buy a lot of media from. Usually if there's any kind of music on DVD or VHS, we try to pick them up. And that one sold for $6 and a penny. Up next is The Grudge on VHS. This thing was up for like less than a week, and it sold for $10. It did have a plastic sleeve on it, but it was half ripped. But this thing is super clean. So The Grudge, $10. I want to say this is a later on release from 2004, so it's kind of rare. That one is. DVD, that one is not worth really anything at all. Up next we have Me and the Mob with Sandra Bullock. This is a movie I've never even heard of. I've never came across again. There you go. Let's see here. 1992 Bullseye Video, Arrow Entertainment. We sold that one for $4.25. We actually sold an 8-track, Alabama. Paid 55 cents for this. Sold for $6 and a penny. I think this is one of our better sales here. Bullet. This has Mickey Rourke and Tupac in it. And this one sold for $31.82. So that one is a bolo. When I was cleaning out the storage unit, this was in there. And brought it here, and surprisingly it was worth a lot of money. So $31 on a DVD is really good. We have this Snakeskin violin. This one sold for, let us see real quick, $4. I want to say I paid a quarter for this one, or maybe even 10 cents. A lot of times these like X radio station ones are at the library sales, and we can pick them up for a dime. So we almost pick up everything just because it's so cheap. You spend like $5. There you go. You got 50 CDs. This one is Salvation Army, where it cost a quarter. And it sold for $21. So pretty good CD right there. And that is Laura Price Band. We have Hill Street Blues sealed season 1, 1051. And then our buddy Felix, he made an appearance here. Miracle in the Rain, sold for $6.68. We have 20th Century Masters CD, the Ohio Players. This one is been listed like 2 weeks or so, and it sold for $10. This came from a big lot of CDs that we bought that was like mostly blues and 70s, like Motown. So that one was $9.99. The Night Flyer with Stephen King. We've had this one up for a while, and it sold for $4.50. We got that on an internet buy, which did so-so. So that one is $4.50. We got Love Comes Softly. This one does have Katherine Heigl in it. We probably paid around 50 cents for this one, and it sold for $7.02. We just bought this from, there was a estate sale, yard sale, in the same town that we live in, and we went to it, and they had actually a lot of media, and at the end, all of it was free, so we ended up going back and getting it all, so that one was pretty cool. The Journey of the August King, this one sold for $4.50. I want to say this was like 10 cents at the library sale. The VHS and CDs there are like, don't cost any money at all. Majority of the time, the VHS, there's not much to choose from. But this one I never came across, so I just picked that up. And it sold. We have this Canon photography buy. $13. So this came in our big photography buy. We've been selling some stuff out of there, but there is just so much that is not listed. We have Belly of the Beast with Steven Seagal. This one sold for $4.50. This is a movie I never heard of. It's super clean. I was looking at it earlier, and it's from 2003. I mean, it is Columbia TriStar, so it is a bigger film production release, but it's a movie that's just one of Steven Seagal's later ones. But that one sold for $4.50. There's a local auction house that sells a lot of stuff, but a lot of times their media doesn't go for much money at all. So a lot of times, if I see there's a couple movies in there that we've never came across, I usually just try to pick them up. But that was one of them in there. I want to say I paid like $1 for the lot or something, $2. We have Batman Beyond: Return of Joker. We've had this one for a very long time, and that sold for $5.02. We have Jennifer, the Masters of Horror. This does say Dario Argento, $4.90. We had bought a bunch of horror from a guy. We went to watch our nephew play baseball, and then we stopped at Dairy Queen, and literally like a block away was all these DVDs for sale, and most of them was like horror and Asian movies, and we did pretty good on that one. That one sold for $4.90. Here we got this CD Felt. This is a UK release. This sold for $12.99. This has been up for like a week or two. This is one of our more recent CD buys. We've been selling some here and there. It's funny because the big lot was like heavy metal. I think I mentioned this before. Or rock. And then there was like a couple lots of just like random CDs that nobody really bid on. And those end up being like the best of the stuff, which is surprising. But there you go, $12.99 on that one. We sold 2 cards here for like $5 together. These are just metal cards. We sold this Nick Drake CD for $13.55. And last but not least, we got a Half Past Dead. And I want to say this is another Steven Seagal movie. This is an ex-Hollywood Video rental. And I think this sold for like $4.50. This is a later on release too. 2003 also. So Steven Seagal was producing some movies back then. But that is our sales. We did pretty good. If anything sells later on tonight, we'll try to get it in there. But yeah, pretty good. Alright, so we're back. I guess that was like a minute. Right when I finished the last video, we got a sale here, and this is a lot of 9 Clint Eastwood movies. They sold for $17.99. So there you go. We had another sale. So we're at 29 sales for the weekend. This came from a big lot of DVDs we bought over Facebook. There was just a ton in there, like 500 or 600. We paid like $275 for them. We've done decent on them. We still have a lot that haven't sold. I just ran the numbers the other day, and we've sold like $500 of them. So decent amount. But what I started doing was the ones that weren't really worth too much money, I just been lotting them up and seeing if they will sell that way. Because there's like, so much that are left that are worth like $2 or $3. And I was just trying to get them out of the way. So this is the first set to actually sell. So there you go. Alright, so we are back. I said if any more sales came in throughout the night, I would show you real quick. So we did actually have 5 more sales. So let's go over these real quick. We have Miffy. Here's Miffy. This one sold for like $7 and some change. I think we paid around like 50 cents for that one. I had it for a while. Green Street Hooligans. This one sold for $10.50. This one is a little bit more rare. I got this from a guy that was like a reseller, but he just sold like the business he was running it out of. And he had a bunch of DVDs, and they were 50 cents each. And I did find a few that were pretty good ones there. And this was one of them. We have McCabe and Miss Miller. This one sold for like $7.75. This came from our big CD DVD buy. It is sealed. Just a sealed movie. If anything's sealed, we will pick them up. We do have this one. Revolution Saints. So this is a Salvation Army pickup. We pay $0.25 for them on Media Mondays. And anything that just seems strange and weird, I will grab, either scan or just buy because it's $0.25. They usually don't have too much. I come out with like maybe 20 CDs or something. And this was one of them, and that sold for $29. So that's a great sale. And then we have this one here, Orange Juice, the Glasgow School, and that sold for $9.99. All of these do have $4.99 shipping on them. But yeah, pretty good there. We still have like 15 items to ship, so we're going to get this rolling. Alright.